org. And today we get the chance to learn a little bit more about Southern Christian Services for Children and Youth. They help to equip vulnerable children and youth, assisting them in the process of becoming self-sufficient, contributing members of society. And I think that's a pretty good thing. If you're over at SuperTalkTV.com, you'll see I've got Jamie Hims with us. She is the president and CEO of Southern Christian Services. Hey, Jamie.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's such a good time to have you here. I think anytime we can talk about the resources and services out there trying to help youth and children, then that is a good thing. And I have to say, I wasn't aware of the good work that Southern Christian Services does until a friend of mine shared with me. So I feel like somebody else today is going to be learning something new, Jamie. So how do you introduce Southern Christian Services to the public?
Well, typically I just introduce us as a statewide nonprofit that's dedicated to the prevention and treatment of early childhood trauma. And that looks like several different programs, but that's what we tackle, the early childhood trauma that comes along with foster care, emancipating foster care, adoption, and homeless youth, serving homeless youth throughout the state.
It feels like some of those topics are the ones, they're not necessarily the good topics, right? They're not the warm and fuzzies. It's not necessarily something people want to sit around and have a cup of coffee and sort of chat about. But it's the issues that, that matter. It's the issues that are going sort of unseen. Do y'all feel that way there, that maybe some of the children who are needing help the most go unseen?
Oh, absolutely. Especially our homeless youth, because they're still very proud. They're not the kind they're not chronically homeless. They're not at Smith Park. They're not holding signs up under a bridge, nothing like that. They wouldn't really even identify themselves as homeless. They're sleeping in their cars. They're couch surfing with their friends. They have a lot of housing insecurity. And they call us and we pay for their room and board. And in the process of that, we serve them through our connection and relationships and workforce development and higher education assistance and so forth. But the room and board is typically why they call us.
I was going to ask, Jamie, how do youth or adolescents, because you would assume that those are the toughest years to even ask for help. You don't see too many teenagers walking around or early, or young adults walking around trying to find the resources. So how do they even hear about Southern Christian Services? I mean, is it kind of just through the grapevine, or are you guys connected in other places that they may show up?
Both. We are through the grapevine. We also have some great partners that do street mission work that refer, the youth to us as they find them. We have great churches. They show up in the churches. We have great high school and college counselors that call us, and we've been in this work since 1988. So it isn't new. It's just the people who do the work know about us, and the youth. I always just say, we're sincerely doing God's mission and treating God's children, and God sends them to us. I don't really have a great answer for you on how we get the referrals, but they call us every single day, and there's no way we can serve them all. We have a waiting list, but they always find us. Yep, they find us.
That can hit pretty heavy, for those listening to Good Things, Jamie. And I think sometimes, we don't know what to do. So we do nothing, or we don't want to talk about things that we don't feel like we can fix. And I know homelessness for not only adults, but also for youth is a big problem here in Mississippi. It's one that feels hopeless at times for those who, are on the outside sort of looking in. I know it can feel very frustrating for those that have their boots on the ground trying to help those individuals as well. So what is your pep talk to us, who want to help? We don't know how to help, or if it feels like maybe it's a never-ending cycle. There are some that break the cycle. Give us a little guidance.
Yeah, well, first of all, if you want some just happy stories, because this can be a depressing topic to discuss, go to our website, click on media. You can watch some videos of our past PALS recipients, and they have happy endings. So there's one good place to start. The second is knowing that the important work is being done on the ground, and you're right, there are success stories related to it, and So the pep talk, I guess, is just that we are on the ground. God is using Southern Christian to care for his children on the streets, living in their cars, and at least somebody's out there doing the work. There is hope.
That's good to know that there's definitely hope and that they're also reaching out. So, if we want to get more involved, you mentioned great churches as resources, you mentioned community, other community organizations. I know there's a lot of businesses in Mississippi who have stepped up to sort of help in the way that they can. I mean, how do we help? I mean, obviously, prayers and thinking about it, being open minded is a good place to start. But what are some tangible things that we can do?
Okay. Well, you can give us a call. Go to our website, which is scscy.org, and there's a whole list of things on our website that you can do. One of the things that our homeless youth need are we call them kitchens in a box, and it's just a set of dishes. If you can think of a youth coming out of their car and going into an apartment for the first time. Now, our apartments are furnished, so they have that, but they don't have the kitchen supplies. They don't have the plates and the cups and the silverware and so forth, pots and pans, just what you could put in a box for just one youth. They don't have roommates, so they're just cooking for themselves. So we love kitchens in a box. They can be delivered to our Jackson office, which is on Old Canton Road. Again, that's all on our website, but our address is 4735 Old Canton Road. It's just down from Highland Village in Jackson. And you can get involved by contacting us about mentorship, or there might be other donations that our youth need. Sometimes they have trouble with their cars, and we need mechanics who, will help them work on their cars. Or it could be they need employment. If you're open to hiring a youth who comes from a hard place, call us and let us know. We require that our youth work full-time or go to school full-time, or a combination of those two. We are not an all-inclusive resort. They can't just come hang out. They have to be productive. They have to have a plan moving forward, and we help them as much as we can with that plan, but ultimately it's their plan. And so I tell staff all the time, if we're working harder than the youth is on a consistent basis, we have a big problem. So we do expect that the kids pitch in and work their plan. And so they need jobs, they need vehicles, they need kitchens and boxes. We could always use donations. The room and board's expensive. I wish we could serve more youth. We can only serve about 5 youth at a time in housing because housing's expensive.
Right. But the good news to me, though, Jamie, about the individuals that wind up at Southern Christian Services or the youth there, I mean, they have put their first, they made the first step. They connected. They asked for help. They're willing to do their part of the puzzle to maybe get out of it. I know a lot of them are ones that have fostered out of either CPS or just found themselves, in unimaginable circumstances, what a teenager probably shouldn't if they don't have a family or a home. And so, yeah, I think if someone's willing to, rise up and ask for help and willing to accept their responsibility part, we should be there to meet them the other way. I love the kitchen in a box. So if churches or other organizations listening would like to maybe, use that as a community project or outreach or learn more, how can they get in touch with you, Jamie, or your staff there at Southern Christian Services?
Sure. Let me give you our phone number. It's 601-354-0983. You can call and ask for Jamie Hines, or you can call and speak with Janine Pickering, either one. Another thing that we need besides kitchen in the boxes are just everyday toiletry items. They come in to us, they haven't had a proper shower in a while, so we have shampoo and soap and deodorant and whatever else they need. We need cleaning supplies, because that's another thing we have to teach them once we put them in housing, is how to take care of a proper home. So any
so many different ways to plug in and to help.
Yes, we also have a food pantry, so people can donate non-perishable food items to our food pantry.
All righty, Jamie. Well, I appreciate your time today. I appreciate learning something about Southern Christian Services. I look forward to getting you back on and maybe sharing more of those happy stories that you say is over on your website. So thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you for having me.
All righty. You guys stick with us. We got plenty more good things for you coming up.